So I think there's just one more thing I wanted to cover with those Dem debates, since we had the second day to really watch everything else. And the first day was bizarre because they did part of it in Spanish. That in itself is not a bizarre thing, because Spanish is kind of a common language depending on where you're at, especially in the western part of the states. There's a lot of Spanish speaking, California in particular, but then, you can go into Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. There's a lot of Spanish speaking people there. So it kind of makes sense if you're pandering to like those 4 states, I guess. Not so much anywhere else. And the weirdest part, the two that were doing it the most, Booker and Beto, okay, so what the hell do you think you're going to get out of campaigning in Mexico? They don't vote for you. Do these people not have a fucking clue? Do they not understand who they're trying to get to vote for them? It sounds like they're taking the failed play that Clinton did and saying, hey, the middle America, they're just a bunch of deplorables and racists anyways, so fuck them. We don't want them voting for us. We want good people voting for us. That's going to win us the election. You're not going to abolish the Electoral College. You guys might have changed the rules in your democratic states to where if somebody gets the popular vote within that state, they get all the Electoral College votes. Fine, you can do that. It's going to not help you in the long run. That's a dumb idea. But anyways, so they both spoke Spanish. Oh, that's fun. That's great. That's fine, actually. I don't have a problem with that. I understand a little bit of Spanish myself. But the problem is, they're speaking to the wrong audience. So apparently they don't understand the audience they're going for. They don't understand the people they're trying to reach. The fact that half of them don't even want to speak to Fox News and anything else because, oh my God, they're racist, sexist, homophobes, demonstrate that none of them, not a single damn one, have a chance in hell to even win against Trump, let alone, well, I guess they could still get the nomination now, couldn't they? That's the amazing part of this. Even though they're dirtbags and idiots, they still could get the nomination. But it's more likely that Kamala Harris or Warren is going to get the nomination. Now, Warren on that stage, she was her typical self. I think she is an opportunist. She will say and do whatever she can to get ahead. That is including lying about her ethnicity. Not surprised. Not surprised at all. I did a different video on that particular subject about her ethnicity, comparing her to my own, in fact, where she's trying to say that like her great-great-grandparents were Cherokee, I think. My great-great-grandparents were straight from Scotland, and I have a quarter Scottish blood in me. She would have a quarter Indian, if that were the case. Not the case. Hell, she'd have a little less than a quarter if it was just one of them. But I think she's saying that one of them might have had ancestry. I'm like, okay, yeah. Well, the 1 in 24th is definitely applicable to your dumbass. So anyways, she doesn't stand a chance in hell either because she's going down the same social justice route as everyone else. She's trying to be appealable to certain voters. She's not trying to appeal the other ones that are going to turn this vote around. That's pretty much it. So what's going to happen? Well, Bernie Sanders turned out to be a little bit more crazy than usual. We had the rest of them didn't get a chance to speak. Andrew Yang and Tulsi Gabbard, the two that I would actually vote for, had they not raised their hand about universal basic income and giving illegal immigrants health care. That kind of done me in at that point. Here's why, in fact. Who pays for that? That's what it comes down to for pretty much everybody that hears this shit. Who's going to pay for it? The government is not an industry. It does not make money. It has no ownership of any industry. It is not a socialist, utopian, monolithic power. And in the socialist utopian monolithic power, all industry, Silicon Valley, for example, the oil industry throughout the United States, which is now a leading power in industry, auto, you name it. Pretty much everything that's major industry within this country would be under the state. That's how they would make their money. Also, on top of that, they would make their money by the consumers. So anything that's spent buying a car or whatnot, all that revenue would go to the government in a socialist utopia. In addition to that, we'd still have to pay taxes. So not only are we government employees at that point, we're now paying taxes on working to buy and give stuff that we made because we're government employees. No discounts, no nothing. Sure, it might make the cost of goods cheaper because they would be shit at that point. The government isn't good at running anything. That's not their job. Law is the job, not industry. So the fact that they have no revenue, no earning income, no good work stream other than taxpayers tells you all you need to know on who's going to pay for it. Everybody's going to pay for it. The Bernie Sanders plan that he just pushed out for erasing student debt, who's going to pay for it? I am. So he'll erase my student debt, which is actually as much as a house at this point, because a doctorate's degree, the way I did it, because I had a shit life to begin with, I'd have to pay for that still. Just over the rest of my lifetime. Not just the few years that I have to pay it in the first place. No, I'd have to pay for it the rest of my fucking life through my taxes. It wouldn't be gone. It'd be diversified among 315 million people. Y'all would have to pay for my house, essentially. My house. My student loans would now be your burden as well as mine. We're going to just share the load. That sounds grand, isn't it? That's equitable. That's equity. We're gonna bring it down to the lowest common denominator. All student loan debt, we're gonna share it all. It's not free student loan. It's we're all gonna pay for student loans. The moment these people get a job and they're paying for the student loans now, because you have to hike taxes to be able to afford some crazy fucking plan like this. You're talking trillions of dollars, not billions, but trillions. It's like $2.4 trillion to erase all student loan debt or some shit like that. Do you have any idea how many zeros that is behind that concept? That's insane. No, don't touch my fucking student loans. Those are my responsibility, not somebody else's. I refuse to put my burdens on somebody else's shoulders. That's not responsible. That's not ethical. That's bullying. That's oppression. That's stupidity. So anyways, I thought his plans and the rest of them too, and the reason why I'm not going to vote for those two anymore is because they're pretty much going to put burdens on taxpayers. If you want to give free stuff away, who's going to pay for it? Who's going to pay for it? The taxpayers are going to pay for it. So for now providing services to people that aren't even citizens, we're now paying for the world to have healthcare. Because people are just going to jump ship wherever they're at and say, hey, they're giving away free shit. Let's go live over there. Besides, the United States is pretty fucking awesome to begin with. You'll get to live in the lap of luxury. Guess what? Free shit didn't make it that way. It just doesn't make sense to me that they put anything like that forward. So, unfortunately, she had a lot of good plans, Tulsi Gabbard. I really respected that. Andrew Yang, he was like a tepid Trump, in my opinion. He was okay until that. Stupid idea. There should be a safety net. Don't get me wrong. There should absolutely be a safety net. But that safety net should not make you codependent upon the state. It should be an insurance policy of when shit happens and you're stuck in a particular situation where you need to do something or else you're going to lose everything. Say you get fired or quit or laid off. It would be nice if you had unemployment benefits for you to get a job again, however long that takes. They give it to you for like 3 to 6 months. I should know. I've been on it. And it sucked. You get a fraction of your income You have to now take food stamps and all that fun shit just to be able to eat and feed your children. And then you find another job that will pay you equal of what you made. Or else, you're going to have to make some concessions. At this point in time, I don't think I could be able to do that in my length of career. Although my PhD does give me options. I can gloat that around. But it's not enough. So yes, that safety net does need to be there for when people fall in hard times. I've had to use it before. 100% agree with it. And it's not just because I had to use it before. I've known people that needed it. And they got back on their feet. They didn't like being on it. Anybody that has no problem taking money from somebody else, just bumming money, saying, hey, can I borrow $20? $100? Have no problem asking for money. Those are the type of people, in my opinion, that wouldn't have any problem with welfare or living off of it for the rest of their lives, because they're basically getting free handouts. They don't have to pay it back. They don't have any problem with it. You see them on Judge Judy all the goddamn time. They borrow some money and they're like, oh, I just thought it was a gift. Yeah, oh, sure. You borrowed money, but you don't have the integrity to pay back what you owe. Shit don't come for free. I'm sorry to tell you. But anyways, that's a little bit of a weird tangent to go back off on. The social safety net needs to be there. But the last thing I'll add is, in addition to the weird pandering with the Spanish speaking and then the moderator speaking in Spanish too, who the fuck do you think you were talking to? Pretty much middle America does not speak Spanish. The people you're trying to win votes from do not speak Spanish. They don't understand Spanish. They haven't bothered to pick up Spanish. Not even a little bit. They probably can't say like, se habla español? You know? No habla español? They might be able to say that one. Un momento, por favor. Or they might know puta. They might know that one. Cabrón. They might know that one. It's amazing. I could probably say those on YouTube and maybe be able to keep some status and not get flagged for hate speech or some shit because I just swore in another language. But it's not unsurprising that they would do this though, because the hot button issue is the border and those coming up through it. They speak a form of Spanish, Honduran, which is close to Spanish, Guatemala and Ecuador. The fun part about that is these are Bernie Sanders people. They're all leaving socialist utopias because socialism turned their countries to shit. Good job. They don't have any problem losing these unskilled workers. Not at all. They're going to go somewhere else. Some of them might actually have skills, but the ones that really had skills probably had the forethought to get the fuck out in the first place before shit hit the fan. Just saying. They're usually smarter. That's all I have for this video. Oh, no, wait. That's not all I had for this video. The last thing that was weird is not actually in the Dem debates. It was after the Dem debates. What the hell was Cory Booker doing? Escorting people across the border that had already been thrown out? My understanding is that he just aided and abetted criminals. In my view. What? It's illegal to do what he just helped 5 people to do. And the fact that they did it, which is illegal, which means they're trying to circumvent the system, again, using his protection. So on top of that, you have the fact that he aided and abetted these 5 people. That can only tell me that he is quite willing and able to break the law and not fix the law. If it were me, I would have charged his ass with aiding and abetting known criminals. Throw a little shade on him. Maybe it'd look bad, but for fuck's sake, man. You just aided criminals by crossing the border. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think they're going to be able to stay? Because ICE will just throw their ass out again. They don't have asylum that they can seek here. The problem exists because of all this free shit that stupid people are giving away. At whose expense? The taxpayers' expense. Citizens' expense. That's the huge problem. And I don't see a solution in the Democratic Party at this point. All 20 plus of them. Well, no, Swalwell dropped out. So all of them except Swalwell don't have a solution except to give people more free shit. And by the way, just give them citizenship because. More people, more voters, it's fine. They'll integrate, they'll find jobs. Yeah, mass immigration worked so well in Europe, didn't it? That's why they have some really fucked up things going on in certain places. Like grooming gangs and bombings. Since when did Sweden have a bomb problem? Oh, that's right, when they allowed mass immigration in. We need to learn from other people's mistakes, including our own. I thought we had learned from a grave mistake of our past, and we were moving forward. That is until social justice decided to take it and smear it in everybody's faces through bullying and intimidation. But I digress. I think that's all I wanted to cover about the rest of the Dem debates. I wanted to call out Kamala Harris specifically in the first one because she is now the front runner in my opinion, and she's also the most egregious, that will abuse her power the most. The rest are just, it's a clown car. Seriously. Oh my God. Not a good policy between them. No one ever thought, they're just, oh my God. Who's going to pay for it? That's the question that should be on everyone's mind. Who do you expect to pay for this grand plan? And if they don't answer with taxpayers, it's because they're avoiding the question. That's who's going to pay for it. We are. No thanks. So all I got for this video here, seriously this time. I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't have to sneeze this time. That's a good thing. So I'll see you in the next one.
Maybe I'm not qualified, but I've been nominated to try. So that's what I'm going to do.